So we can hope that the rest of Vaults goes down a similar path here. Eden going blind immediately is wonderful. Okay, I do love the Cloak of Starlight. I think I've officially come around to it fully. I've decided that it is absolutely incredible. Are you... No, not Distortion. A man can dream, I guess. Gargoyle can dream. Enchant Weapon. Ooh, sorry. Definitely want that. Beautiful. Ooh, and let's see what we get for boots. +6 dexterity. Probably not worth the cold vulnerability at this stage. We just finally got our resistances squared away here, so let's not get too ridiculous. St. Roca. When you can tab your way through St. Roca comfortably, you're probably in a pretty dang good spot, all things considered. Wonderful. And I'm hoping that that is pretty much the remainder of the floor for us. Just blitzing our way through without much a care in the world. I do kind of want to kill this Convoker sooner rather than later. Oh, turns out not too bad regardless, so never mind. Wow, just melting monsters. Triple crossbow is truly a thing of beauty, is it not? Again, besides the inevitable hubris that comes from using one, it's a pretty wild weapon here. 32 scrolls of teleport. I feel like so many of my recent characters have had to rely on teleports constantly to keep themselves out of danger, so I'm used to struggling in that regard and not having very many, you know, choosing wisely when to use them, but not so today apparently. Just flush with them, not a care in the world. And Amulet of the Acrobat is no good. I'm hoping for an artifact necklace here. That's, again, somewhere that we're still slightly subpar. Jewelry in general, I guess, would be a wonderful surprise here as we finish off just the last little bit of the floor. Okay, there we go. Starting to get a bit of a gathering of friends here. Let's actually focus down the snail. Get rid of that slow sooner rather than later. Okay, in general, this is where I need to start thinking in advance of danger to try to get control back, because I am very prepared for this to start to go poorly for us in the near future. Hopefully not. I would prefer if we just continue to blitz our way through without a care in the world, but nice to have some kind of backup here just in case things go wrong. And there we go. Let's swap back to our triple crossbow and just finish off these sons of guns. Beautiful. Not the end of the world. Oh, Amulet of Air. Inaccuracy, hey? I probably can't afford to use you, especially since I don't really need Arlec or flying, but it's just kind of fun. And we did have, yeah, half-willed there. I wasn't too worried with what we were facing off against. I guess we could have been marked, but again, we've cleared most of the floor. But definitely a good reminder that we have a decent number of cancellation potions, so I probably should be thinking about them a little more often. 7 League boots? Oh, look at those sons of guns. I don't think we actually want you. If we were a melee character, this would be huge. In fact, I kind of wish we were a melee character just so we could have used this. Even using like this along with orange plate armor would have been a very interesting combo on another character in another lifetime, but still always cool to see. I'm a big fan of any unrand arts at the end of the day. Ooh, another blinking scroll from our friend there is wonderful. Let me check how much inaccuracy does, because I have the halo giving plus accuracy. That's a good point. Still, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that it becomes a bit of a non-issue. Specifically, I would like to find a regen amulet that is a rand art and has some other effects to it as well. Would be lovely. But okay, that was Vaults 5. Again, if this is your first time seeing Vaults 5, do not take this as the document of truth moving forward, because that was absurdly lucky. And I feel like most of the time I am struggling much more to get my way through, at least with non-casters. You know, if you have Ignition and Shatter up, you're probably not too worried about it one way or another. But that went stupidly well for us here today. Yeah, it can be frustrating when you have 95% of the level cleared and it's the last 5% that does kill a character. Oh yeah, and happens more often than I'd care to admit. Wiki not specifying how positive the halo is, but inaccuracy is -5. So it removes the to hit part of the Gloves of War. And okay, so actually it's not the end of the world if we did want to go that route. I guess, what else does it do for us? So flying useless, Arlec useless. Was there anything? Air kind of useless. Repel missiles is okay. It is one of the things that we continue to struggle with in this run. I guess we struggled with, specifically in shoals. A lot of the satyrs were causing us heaps of trouble here. Do I have many ranged enemies in the future coming up? Not really. Usually in the late game, it's your tormentors and your damnation that you're more concerned about than anything else. We'll keep it in mind. Keep it in the back of our brain here as an option, even if just for some fun at some point. But I'm not too worried about it. And with that, we are sorted through the first 4 of our runes here. Holy moly, that happened quickly. But more importantly, I think now is when I take the plunge. It's brand time. Is there anything else? Even Zot would be fine with the branded weapon for the most part. At least helps kill a lot of the buddies there. Most dragons and what are they? Like dragon folk, dragon kind, draconians. That's the word for them. Most draconians and dragons I'm not too worried about. Death cobs, cursed toes, all those will just melt under a holy weapon. Orb of fire. I don't know if orbs of fire count as undead or the right brand of evil. But I think we're also just fine to fight them, especially since we'll be going there a bit later in the game. So I think I will just bite the bullet here. Let's get blessed, shall we? Fantastic. So that brings us up to a +8 crossbow of Holy Wrath. Fantastic. Orbs of fire are not undead, but if I do it later, it doesn't matter. Right, yeah, I should be leagues ahead of any potential risks by that stage in the game, so I'm not too worried. Do you think Zen has an issue to Orbs of Fire, but the other two don't? Yeah, I believe so, because they're agents of chaos. I believe you are correct in that matter. There we go. Immediately find a gateway leading down. That's wonderful. And do always hate the wretched stars. Let's see, what did we get? Misshapen. Ooh, don't regenerate. Actually sucks real bad. So let's hope we burn our way out of that mutation as soon as possible. I mean, in general, most enemies aren't going to be in sight for long. So there is that to contend with. And there we go. We've already, purged our way through all the temporary mutations. Not too bad whatsoever. And for now, I'll keep auto-exploring. Might put us around in circles a lot of the time here, but that's not the end of the world by any stretch. Very clumsy. A little bit of a unfortunate situation, but not the worst case scenario. Let's just reset. Take me to a new Abyss 2, please. Hey, there we go. Much better. Sometimes it just works. So the Abyssal Rune can be found. We could go down again here, but I think we will stay on 3 and do a wee bit of exploring. Ooh. Do I detect the Abyssal Rune? Where? There you are. Come to Papa. We can find our way through the ever-changing maze that is the Abyss at the very least. Come on, Bessie. Give me an opening. Ooh, there's a silent specter going on here, if I had to guess. Well, now I'm feeling very fortunate to not be playing a casting character for once. Though to be fair, I'd always be slightly concerned about taking them into Abyss. That's always one of the rougher potential spots for casters. Not too shabby. Enough undead things means that I can keep healing my way up. Okay, that was way too easy even a bit. This Rune Vault, come on. I feel like I've been so unlucky lately with them and just constantly struggling with annoyingly strong enemies, so it's definitely strange to find myself in the opposite boat here. Excuse me. Okay. Lost my way there temporarily, but managed to find my way out, and now let's just officially find our way out of here, shall we? Shouldn't take too long with the rune under our belt. So, any second now, hopefully without too many wretched stars. Some of the few things that could still cause enough problems for us here. Okay, this character is absurd, by the way. Just want to keep reiterating that for anyone who isn't watching at the moment here, I guess, because anyone who is probably can also see just how ridiculous this run has been so far, which is nice. You know, after struggling with a few different characters, it's nice sometimes to have that nice easy alley-oop. Nothing really to worry about except the ever-present possibility of hubris. Always want to keep that in mind for sure. Ah, there we go, and there's an out. Okay, well I guess we just head out. Why the heck not? Quit while we're ahead. Things are looking good. Feeling good as well. Fantastic. So that is all 5 base runes under our belt. We now just have Pandemonium, Hell, and of course, always Tomb. I'm now looking forward to Tomb. We still will be going for a little bit longer here tonight. So just need to decide what we wish to go to next. We'll probably head into the Gateway to Hell, start clearing out Gargoyle and friends there and see how that goes. Clear out most of Zot, at least down to Zot 4. And then we'll see if we have time to potentially even dip our toes into Pan. My one issue with that is resistances, not the greatest across the board. And not even really good ways of forcing myself into any specific category here. I guess we have 11 enchant armor scrolls. I could run and grab those fire and ice dragon scales and enchant both of them up, and then we have options for when we hit the fire and ice realms of various enemies here. Or I go with 1 pip and hope I have enough damage output. That sounds like it's the hubris talking. But for now, let's find a gateway to hell, shall we? Oops. Take me away. And let's see, Garen. How do you fare? You're probably gonna die to just a few hits. There we go. Big boss of hell is dead. Fantastic. I actually care more about mutation than anything else here, so I'll start sending bolts this way, and as soon as our Nethack is close enough, we can swap over to a quick blast to take them down. Fantastic. Summoner is going to be that there next. Beautiful. And then let's just spam that tab key, folks. We should be able to clear our way through the forces of hell here without much ado about nothing. Holy moly. 3 pips fire resistant for Vestibule of Hell is a safe play. I probably should have read your message before jumping in, but turns out we're dealing enough damage to be okay with it, fortunately. Very easily could have gone another way. Made it look trivial. I mean, I can't really take too much credit for that. Again, just to keep kind of cementing in the fact. Absurdly strong character. I was ready for today to be quite a struggle. And don't get me wrong, there were moments. There were lots of terrifying escapades earlier in the evening here, but ever since we got full triple crossbow up and running and some good armor under our belt, I mean, things are definitely falling into place in a pretty ridiculous way. Which you absolutely love to see. We also could have spent way more piety here as we're just continuing to gain infinite amounts. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not too worried about it because in general, an extended late game is infinite amounts of TSO piety, so it's not going to be a big deal whatsoever. But there we go. Okay, hell is now ready for us at any given moment here. Remember, you're using wizard mode to test inaccuracy using the Gargoyle with max heals, Halo, Stormbow, Gloves of War. 71% chance to hit Orb of Fire. Inaccuracy reduces that to 62%. It seems to exactly balance the Halo. Okay, very interesting. So it is an option if we so desire. Again, I'm kind of living it up with my 2.8 health regen per turn, but nice to know, at least for the future, if we ever go that route. I also might as well unblock this area from our exclusions here, and let's see what's waiting for us. The Robe of Misfortune, no thank you. Oh, Condenser Vein. So sad, can't use you. I believe Condenser Vein is red with Holy Worshippers just because you have the chance at Unholy Clouds. I believe as long as you don't get negative clouds, it's not a penance issue, and you're fine. But unfortunately, that's always an option in the periphery here, so we'll just play it safe and we'll drop that son of a gun as much as I love the cloud so much. And we're also getting pretty close to hitting all of our skill caps that we've set here, so let's just turn invocations back on. Sure, more evocations while we're at it. We can kind of spread far and wide here without too much of a concern. We'll have plenty of experience for the rest of the game. We already have everything we kind of want available to us. So the rest is just bonus material. And okay, so let's think. We have Zot. We also have Crypt, actually. I've been saving Crypt to be our backup of Piety, but apparently haven't needed it so far here, so that's fine. Only get punished if it does negative energy clouds. Exactly, yeah. Which is still a bit too much of a risk for us to take today, especially with how the Formicid run ended. I'm forever scarred by the sheer or the mere mention of penance gets me in a tizzy here. But okie dokie, let's just fight our way through all of our new friends here. We can even throw in the occasional cleansing fire just to make sure we're not risking ourselves unnecessarily. Fantastic. And not too shabby. I guess how many magic mapping? We have 3 magic mapping. Okay, let's make sure we don't get enraged at the very least. +5 glaive of venom. Not sure. We'll focus you down a bit. Let's even just spam cleansing fire just a smidge, shall we? Might as well simplify the situation as much as possible while we're kind of sitting in a golden heyday of piety here. Quite lovely. And yeah, we'll do a full clear of Zot just for prosperity's sake here. It's been a while since we've done so, especially on our most recent victory on the Jinn. We were pretty fast and loose with it, just did the bare minimum to get by. So this time around, we can pretty safely go the whole mile here and just see how things are feeling. Even this could have been a sketchy vault, seeing as how anything with special walls immediately gets my spider senses tingling here, but so far it seems kind of reasonable to an extreme degree, which scares me. What am I missing out on? What am I walking into here? Well, that kind of shows what I'm walking into. Hello there. Let's stop auto-attacking the closest enemy and kill the most relevant ones, please. And thank you, game. Iron Giant has got to go, and then everything else follows. Beautiful. Ooh, finally get a magical necklace. Dex -5, willpower minus, but reflect with slay +5. So if we wanted to go absurd with the slain, we could do so. +8 triple crossbow of megalomania, penetration, dex +4. Okay, so this arbalist of penetration is being dropped, I guess. What the heck is going on this character? Okay, so that's wild. In fact, I'm kind of tempted to use that as my standard weapon, at least here in Zot. Overconfidence is slow and insidious killer. You're not wrong. I think that's the strategy. The game has realized that, okay, this character is very strong, so the only way we take them down is to change gears here and instill such an absurd level of overconfidence. So just give him every good item in the game and watch the world burn because of it. Wow, just need Damnation Arbalist. I mean, I wouldn't mind. DCSS, maybe, just maybe. Feeling even more generous than you've already been. Why, hello there. First Orb of Fire, 76% chance to hit. Let's bring in some friends that will probably immediately be taken down a peg, but that's fine. And do you want... I think Cleansing Fire might actually be the play here. Okay. I just got mutated and I get 10% plus additional health. Excuse me? Oh man. Okay, I think I was joking before, but now I actually think that the game is onto something. There's only one way to get absurd levels of confidence flowing, and it's to give me everything I could possibly hope for in life, and then pull it away. Rip it out of my cold dead hands. Maybe that's the plan here. Well, it's not very often that I go full facepalm for a good thing. Usually I've done something incredibly stupid, but it's definitely a shock to the system, to say the least. Regardless, let's I guess just keep going. Just another Sunday. Ooh. I haven't seen a killer clown in the upper levels of Zot in many a lifetime. How about that? It's a first, or a run of many firsts, really. Damnation got nerfed in 0.29, sadly, from 3D14 to 2D14. So a little bit worse off, but then still nigh unresistible, unless, of course, enemies that are very specifically suited to it take no damage, but otherwise gets through AC like a son of a gun, and not too bad. Shiny Clown, Dead Clown, almost feels bad to do it. They were living their own life. They had dreams and aspirations. They were doing what no clown had done before, living in the upper levels of Zot with not a care in the world, and here I just come in and dash said dreams against the rocks without even a moment's hesitation. I guess such is life. Such is life indeed. Changes mostly because of the removal of ammo. Before it would always mulch the bolt, so that was, yeah, the trade-off there. Now that you have just infinite firepower, fair enough for sure. But okie dokie. We've been switched over to our penetration brand for all of Zot here so far, and it was largely for dealing with crowds, you know, taking care of Moths of Wrath before they enrage every single golden dragon in the vicinity. But I've just been using it on single targets a lot of the time here, and just shows how ridiculously strong all the triple crossbow is in general at this stage in the game. But here we go. This is, yeah, where the penetration kind of comes in. Not really, because I was mostly just hoping kill the Constrictor, so we don't have to worry about them in the future. I guess we can kill the Summoner. Kind of forcing use to be made of our abilities here, but that's fine. And do you want, let's keep the Cleansing Fire rolling here, and Summoner, you're dead to me. Okie dokie. This son of a gun drank a Might Potion. Ooh, definitely no Enraged Quicksilver Dragon today. Please and thank you. I could even take our current friends upstairs. That's probably for the best. And then that little itty-bitty voice in the back of my head that just loves hubris and all the chaos and turmoil it brings. Ooh. Double Cursed Toe. How about that? That's something you definitely don't see too often here. I mean, you're not going to see it for very long either, for being completely honest, but it was cool while it lasted. How about that? And the final level here, 27, fantastic. Just don't let the killer clowns turn me into a bat and silence me without cancellation potions. That's the only way you can see this character dying. At least for this general area. Once we get into Pan, I'm still ready for things to go horribly wrong. I've definitely taken enemies for granted there before. Specifically, what's their face? Who's Fireman's? Who is Fire at large? Asmodeus? Asmodeus? Amadeus? I think Asmodeus. It's them or Cerebov. I'm blanking who is Hell and who is Pandemonium right now. Which is which? And which am I scared of now that I think about it? Who does Firestorm up the wazoo? I think Asmodeus is the one I'm thinking of in my head as having even relatively recently given very strong characters trouble on my side of things. Okay, and look at that. Damnation, still a threat too. How about that? Very scary. Cerebov is Pandemonium. Okay. I'm blanking right now. You know, they're very memorable in terms of actions, because, yeah, I've very much had exceptionally promising characters die to them. But now, I feel like my mind has been wiped clean by the beauty that is this run, and I can't remember a thing to save my life. Cerebov is Pandemonium, Asmodeus is Gehenna. Okay. Cerebov is Pan. Quarter spells is Firestorm and has the sword that reduces fire resistance. Yeah, it might be Cerebov that I'm thinking of. Also pretty ridiculous health pool on that son of a gun. But yeah, it just takes a few bad turns. You know, when you have fire resistance stripped and you're getting hit by Firestorm, which in its own right ignores some portion of fire resistance, it's a bit of a rough shot. And yeah, always hasted too, as Railbird mentions there, which kind of plays into it because, again, I'm very much thinking I'm in the like Formicid headspace, so not being able to haste means that I could never run away from him, and it was terrifying. Just had to cross my fingers and start blasting.